KRCA, Channel 4, Los Angeles.
Beat him to it. Martin beat out a roller to second, grounded to short into a double play, and struck out. High and inside, 1-1. Randy Jackson batted for Amoros, you recall, and Samoli has replaced Amoros in left, has a good arm. Strike two, 1-2. Out on deck for New York is Moose Skowron. He will hit for Jerry Coleman. Upstairs, out of play. Dodgers leading 11-7, first half of the eighth inning. Strike three. Beautiful curveball. And Bill Skowron comes up to hit for Jerry Coleman.
Number 14, Bill Skowron, batting for Coleman.
Strike one. Skowron played the first game of the series, was 0-for-4. Don Besson's fastball is really alive. Strike two. Outside, ball one, 1-2. High, 2-2. Strike three. And Besson is really firing that fast one. Mickey McDermott will hit for himself. An odd way of putting it, but being the pitcher, there's no pinch hitter. And he is a reasonably good hitting pitcher, often used as a pinch hitter during the regular season. High, ball one. Besson has struck out 4. He's been in there since the third inning. Don Newcomb was knocked out in the second. Roebuck relieved, and Besson came on in the third. It's a high bouncer. Beautiful stop by Reese, and the throw not quite in time. Hodges made a magnificent effort to get that ball and still keep his foot on the bag. Two beautiful efforts by Reese and Hodges, and the crowd, of course, shows its appreciation. Scored as a base hit, of course. the 10th hit for New York. Leadoff man Gil McDougall at the plate. Strike one. Don Besson gives up his 4th hit. Newcomb allowed 6. It's in there, strike 2. You just saw a quick shot of Enos Slaughter on deck. McDougall grounded to short, single to right, sacrificed and walked. Clem Labine loosening up for the Dodgers. Brooklyn leading 11-7, 8th inning. 2 outs, McDermott on first base. Slow roller, Robinson charges it, barehands it, throws, and it is in time on a beautiful play. Jackie can still play ball. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. And so at the middle of the 8th inning, the score is Brooklyn 11, New York 7. Yankee Bauer would climb the wall for an out and break your arm before he'd give up his glove. What's with that glove, Hank?
Fits my hand like it was made for me, Mel.
Speaking of fit, how's your Gillette Super Speed razor?
Fits my beard like it was made for me. It feels good and keeps my face looking good.
That figures because today there are 3 Super Speeds, one made for you. The light for sensitive skin and most younger fellows, regular for average skin and beard, heavy if you like the heft and feel of a heavier razor. Each is differently engineered. One has the right blade edge exposure, edge angle, and weight to give you those easy up-and-at-'em shaves. The Gillette Super Speed is convenient. You change blade, zip, and rinse it clean. A nearby store has this World Series special. Razor, Gillette Blue Blade dispenser, and travel case, $1 plus free baseball encyclopedia. Andy Carey has gone in to play third base for New York. Billy Martin, who was playing third, has shifted over to second. Skowron batted for Jerry Coleman, who was playing second base. In the last half of the 8th inning, the Dodgers will have Carl Furillo, Roy Campanella, and Don Besson, the bottom third of the order. The paid attendance this afternoon, 36,217. And they have seen one of the wildest World Series games in history. For any latecomers, the Yankees got 1 in the first, 5 in the second. The Dodgers came back with 6 in the last of the second, 1 in the third. The Yanks 1 in the fourth, and the Dodgers 2 in the fourth and 2 in the fifth, and they lead 11-7. Mickey McDermott on the mound, the 7th Yankee pitcher. Strike 1. Foul ball out of play. And for the late viewers, it's been a game featured by a grand slam homer hit by Yogi Berra off Don Newcomb, a 3-run homer hit by Duke Snyder off Tommy Byrne that tied the score in the second inning, and 2 doubles by Gil Hodges that drove in the last 4 Dodger runs. Out of play. Furillo walked, single to left, grounded to second, and flied to right in his first 4 appearances. High. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's the looper out into left field that's dropping for a base hit. Almost got away from Slaughter as the ball twisted on him at the last second. Carl Perillo gets his second hit. The Dodgers 11th. The first off McDermott, and up comes Roy Campanella. Sacrifice fly to left, strikeout, an intentional pass, and a fly to center has been his efforts, the result of his efforts at the plate. 11-7 Brooklyn, 8th inning. Outside, ball one. Joe Collins holding against Perillo. Dusty Bodges, the umpire. Roy went for a pitch a little outside. 1-1 the count. It's in there. Strike two. 1-2. The high drive to deep right center field. Mantle digging back toward the wall, and Bauer, and Hank drops it. And Perillo goes on to second. The ball gets by McDougal, and Carey backs up. The sun apparently bothered Bauer. He had it and then lost it, and he's charged with an error. Perillo on second, Campanella on first, and up comes Don Besson. Besson, single to left, struck out and walked. The third Dodger pitcher has been in since the third inning. Yankees looking for the sacrifice. The bunt foul. The first two Dodger pitchers, Newcomb and Roebuck, failed to come to bat. Besson got a hit. Larson, who started for New York, got a hit. And Tom Morgan, who was in for New York, got a hit. And so did McDermott. So four of the pitchers used today got base hits. Foul ball. Strike two. Actually, the only four pitchers who've come to bat have each gotten a base hit. No balls, two strikes. Perillo on second, Campanella on first. Yankees are still playing for a bunt. Collins is waiting on the grass. And there is the bunt, and Carey has to play it on over to Martin. A two-strike sacrifice by Don Besson. Perillo being moved over to third and Campanella to second. Brooklyn leading 11-7, last half of the 8th inning, and leadoff man Jim Gilliam comes up. 3 times he walked, first 3 appearances, then he struck out and grounded to third. And he himself has had sort of a wild day from the standpoint of switching around, because the Yankees have used 7 pitchers, right-handers and left-handers, and he's a switch hitter. So he's been on either side of that plate several times. A liner, base hit. Perillo scores. Here comes Campy around third, and he comes on in to score. And the Dodgers lead 13-7. Jim Gilliam with the infield drawn in for a play at the plate. Line one, just out of the reach. of the struggling Billy Martin. And the Dodgers come up with their 12th base hit and runs 12 and 13. Pee Wee Reese, who has had 1 for 5 and 2 runs batted in. There goes the runner. They throw down. They've got him hung up, and it's dropped by Martin. Throws back to first to Collins. Safe. He got back. The Dodgers apparently had the hit and run on. Pee Wee Reese is one of the best in the business at the plate on the hit and run. And when he missed the pitch, Gilliam saw that he was trapped, stopped, and got back to first. Pee Wee popped to short, single to left, popped to second, flied to right, and grounded to second. 1 out, 2 in, 13-7 Brooklyn, 8th inning. There's a drive to deep left center. Mantle digging toward the wall. Makes the catch. Gilliam all the way down to second, gets back to first. 2 men out, and up comes Duke Snyder. A pair of walks, a 3-run homer, a single, and a strikeout for the afternoon. Strike 1. No balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3. Snyder goes down swinging. The side's retired. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left on. And so at the end of the 8th inning, the score is Brooklyn 13, New York 7.
Look sharp. Feel sharp. Be sharp. The only way to get a decent shave is Gillette. It's Gillette. Shave Gillette.
Tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, Gillette will bring you the 10-round light heavyweight bout between Tony Anthony and Clarence Hinnon at New Capitol Arena in Washington, D.C. See it on most of these same stations. 8 inning totals, the Dodgers 13 runs, 12 hits, no errors. The Yankees 7 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors. As we go to the first half of the 9th inning, Enos Slaughter, Mickey Mantle, and Yogi Berra will be coming up. Don Besson, the 3rd Dodger pitcher who has been on the mound since the 3rd inning, has performed magnificently. Back in 1936, the Yankees beat the Giants 18-4 for the largest total of runs in a given game. Today, these two teams have piled up 20 runs, with the Dodgers leading 13-7 as we go to the 9th inning. In the longest game by time ever played in a World Series. Enos Slaughter, the batter. Ball 1. In 1947, the Yanks and Dodgers played a 3-hour and 19-minute game. And already this one is some 3 hours and 22 minutes old. 2 balls, no strikes. Slaughter has had 1 for 4. Strike one. 2-1. Single to right, grounded to short, hit a sacrifice fly, and line to right. Base hit. So the old Warhorse has 5 hits for the series. He had 3 the day before yesterday in game 1. Mickey Mantle flied to center, walked, struck out, and single to right. High, ball 1. 11 hits for New York, the 5th off Besson. There's a high drive to center. Snyder going back toward the wall, and the ball is caught by the Duke. One away. And now coming to bat is Yogi Berra, who walked, hit a grand slam homer in the 2nd inning, flied to center, and grounded to second. Brooklyn 13, New York 7, 9th inning. There's a drive into left center field for a base hit. Slaughter on his way to third. Simoli tosses back into Gilliam, and Yogi holds it first. And now coming to bat is Joe Collins, who singled to center, grounded to second, walked, and fouled out to the catcher. Each team's had 12 hits. Strike one. Clem Labine gets up to throw for Brooklyn. There's Clem, number 41. Slow curve inside, 1-1 the count. Slow bounder to Reese, to Gilliam, that's all. And trotting home is Slaughter with the Yankees' 8th run of the game. Yogi forced at second. Reese to Gilliam. 2 men out. Collins on first base, and up comes Hank Bauer, who popped to second, beat out a roller to second, flied to center, and grounded to short. Billy Martin on deck. 2 men down the 9th inning, 13-8 Brooklyn. Ball 1, low outside. The 3rd game of the World Series will be played tomorrow afternoon at Yankee Stadium. Our air time, 12:45 Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Strike one, 1-1. Casey Stengel now has quite a problem postborn as far as his pitching nominee for tomorrow, having used 7 of his 10 pitchers today. There's a high fly ball to left. Simoli getting under it. And the ball game's over. In the 9th inning for New York, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left on. And the final score, the Brooklyn Dodgers 13, the Yankees 8, Brooklyn 13 runs, 12 hits, no errors. The Yankees 8 runs, 12 hits, and 2 errors. In a moment, we'll review the highlights of the game for you. This program is authorized under television rights granted by the Commissioner of Baseball, solely for the entertainment of our audience. and any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express consent of the Commissioner is prohibited. Any commercial or other use of the program, such as by charging admission for its showing, is similarly prohibited without the express authority of the Commissioner. And so the second game of the World Series is over. The Dodgers have won it 13-8, and we've had just the reverse of what happened a year ago. And here to give you the wrap-up and give you his slants on this afternoon's game, Ben Scully.
Well, thank you, Mel. The Brooklyn Dodgers, who apparently are becoming used to being behind, they trailed most of the year as far as the National League pennant race was concerned and won it on the final day. They trailed in the first inning of the first game 2-0 and won that one. And here today, they really stretched that a bit, for they trailed the Yankees at 1.6-0, only to eventually come on and win it 13-8. Well, Brooklyn, 13 runs, 12 hits, and no errors. They left 11 men on base. For the Yankees, 8 runs, 12 hits, and 2 errors. They left 7 men on base. The winning pitcher, Don Besson, who pitched brilliantly for 7 innings, gave up just 2 runs and 6 hits. Losing pitcher, Tommy Morgan, who worked 2 2/3 innings, gave up 4 runs and 5 hits. Final score, the Dodgers win the second game of the World Series, 13-8. We'd like to thank our technical director, Jim Davis, our producer, Perry Smith, our director, Harry Coyle. Well, friends, that's just about it. Saturday is another day in the Gillette Cavalcade of Sports. We'll be back on the air promptly at 12:45 Eastern Daylight Time to present the third game of the World Series. Tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, Gillette brings you the 10-round light heavyweight fight between Tony Anthony and Clarence Hinnant of Washington, direct from the new Capitol Arena in Washington, D.C., over most of these same stations. So until then, this has been Scully saying smooth sailing, smooth shaving, and good afternoon from your host, the Gillette Safety Razor Company.
In baseball, it happens every fall. Hearts flutter, blood pressure rises, excitement fills the air. It's World Series time, the premier event of the American sports scene. 1956 presents an encore performance by the same antagonists who fought it out in a thrilling 7-game series in 1955. The Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Yankees, managed by Walt Alston and Casey Stengel. Baseball is unchallenged as our great national game. No other sport can sustain the interest of the entire country for 6 long months and then rekindle it to climactic heights in a postseason series. From the tiniest little leaguer in a crossroads town to the #1 citizen in the White House, pulses quicken as attention is turned to the struggle for baseball supremacy. President Dwight D. Eisenhower, despite a busy election year, finds time to attend the opening game of the 1956 series at Brooklyn. Manager Alston of Brooklyn introduces all the Dodgers to President Eisenhower, who had made a special request to shake hands with all the players. Next come the Yankees, introduced by manager Stengel. Beginning their warm-ups down in the bullpens are the starting pitchers. 39-year-old Sal the Barber Magley will hurl for the Dodgers. Sal staged a great comeback for Brooklyn, highlighting his 13 victories with a no-hitter September 25th. Going for the Yankees will be Ed Whitey Ford, the stocky southpaw, who won 19 games during the regular season. The capacity throng rises for the national anthem while the colors are raised. The umpires gather at the plate for a briefing on ground rules and a check of the lineup cards. President Eisenhower tosses out the first ball to catcher Roy Campanella, safely clearing the heads of the battery of photographers with a perfect pitch. Campy promptly returns the ball to the president. Magley takes his warm-up throws. Hank Bauer steps to the plate and the series is underway. Bauer grounds out to Jackie Robinson for the first out of the game. Enos Slaughter slashes the ball down to Gil Hodges, and it skids off his glove for a hit. That brings to the plate Mickey Mantle, winner of baseball's triple batting crown. He won the American League batting title, led in runs batted in, and walloped a total of 52 home runs. Magley gets one strike on Mantle, and there it goes over the right field fence across Bedford Avenue and deep into a parking lot. Slaughter scores ahead of Mantle, and the Yankees have a quick 2-0 lead. In the last half of the second inning, Robinson gets the first hit off Ford. It's a homer into the left field stand. Hodges drops a pop fly single into short center. Guerrillo follows with a double to left center. And Hodges races home to tie the score at 2-2. With one out in the third inning, Reese of the Dodgers beats out a hit to deep short, on which Gil McDougall makes a sparkling backhanded stop, but his throw is too late. Snyder drops a single into center field. Gil Hodges smashes a home run into the left field lower deck. Reese and Snyder score ahead of him, and the Dodgers lead 5-2. With one out in the fourth inning, Martin hits Magley's first pitch into the left field seats, and the Yankees reduce the lead 5-3. Magley, pitching brilliantly, still has his 3-run lead going into the ninth. First up is Hank Bauer. He strikes out in one of Magley's baffling curveballs. It's the 10th strikeout for the Barber. Slaughter, who has given Magley trouble all day, lines a single to left. That brings up Mantle. On the second pitch, Mickey hits sharply to Junior Gilliam, who starts a lightning double play, and the Dodgers win 6-3. Magley is mobbed by his mates, and the crowd gives the amazing veteran an ovation. This time, however, the fans do not rush for the exits. They remain in their seats until President Eisenhower leaves. The president obviously enjoyed himself. For a few hours at least, he was able to leave behind the cares of state, just as millions of other fans during the season escaped the stress and strain of their own lives by the relaxation of watching a ball game. It was a wonderful day for the Dodgers, too. Magley the Magnificent, who had won the big ones for the Dodgers in the pennant stretch drive, came through once again. And there was great personal satisfaction for Magley, since it was his first World Series victory after losing one while with the Giants. Adlai Stevenson, candidate for the presidency, interrupts his busy campaign through the East to visit Ebbets Field for the second game of the World Series. A distinguished spectator, Stevenson shows he's neutral by wearing both Dodger and Yankee caps. Another neutral is the Commissioner of Baseball with Mrs. Frick. Starting pitchers for Game 2 are Don Larson and Don Newcomb. Newcomb, 27-game winner this season, will try to make it 2 straight for the Dodgers over the Yankees. The Yanks, after taking a 1-0 lead in the first inning, are on the march in the second. Larson's base hit brings in Billy Martin, who had singled and was sacrificed to second. And now it's 2-0 with 1 out. McDougal drives a hit to right, and Larson pulls up at second. Enos Slaughter slaps a grounder to Reese, and McDougal is forced at second while Larson takes third. Mickey Mantle's up. Newcomb, pitching carefully, walks the home run king of 1956. Bases filled. And Yogi Berra advances to the plate. Now the Brooklyn pitcher is in a spot. Newcomb's first pitch misses the plate. On the next one, Berra connects and the ball goes high and far over the right field wall. 4 more runs, a 6-0 lead, and Yogi has hit the 5th Grand Slammer in World Series annals. It's a long, slow walk for Don Newcomb. That's a nice fat lead for Larson as Gil Hodges opens the Dodger half of the second with a single to right center. Joe Collins takes Sandy Amoros's grounder, but wait. He drops the ball, and there's no play at either base. It's his first World Series error. The bases are filled when Carl Fiorillo walks. Campanella sends a sacrifice fly to Slaughter, and Hodges scores the Dodgers' first run. Dale Mitchell comes up to bat for Roebuck. And Billy Martin takes his pop foul. The bases are jammed again when Gilliam walks. Stengel calls for Johnny Cooks to get that 3rd out. Reese, after hitting 4 fouls, singles to left, sending Amorous and Fiorillo across the plate. It's time for another pitching change. Stengel brings in Tommy Byrne, a southpaw, to face left-hand hitting Duke Snyder. The Duke misses a wide curve, but not this one. There it goes over the right center field screen, and this game is tied 6-6. It's Snyder's 10th series homer, tying him with Lou Gehrig. Only the mighty Babe Ruth has hit more, 15. The Brooklyn fans are rejoicing now. The Dodgers add a run in the 3rd. But the Yankees make it 7-7 in the 4th off Don Besant. It's Hodges up in the 5th against Morgan. Snyder and Robinson on base. Again, it's a drive to left, and Slaughter sprawls as the ball goes past him for a double. Now it's 11-7. Brooklyn's up in the 8th, and Mickey McDermott is the Yankees' 7th pitcher, a World Series record for one club in a single game. Fiorillo singles to left. Bauer dropped Campanella's fly for an error. The runners move up when Besson sacrifices. Now the Yankee infield draws in for a possible play at the plate. But Gilliam's sharp hit goes past Martin. In come Fiorillo and Campanella. Brooklyn 13, New York 7. It's the last chance for the Yankees as they come up in the 9th. Slaughter leads off with a single. Mantle flies to Snyder. But Berra singles to center, and Slaughter takes third. Collins forces Berra, Reese to Gilliam, and Slaughter brings in the first Yankee run off Besant since the fourth inning. Besant has his first World Series victory when Bauer flies to Gino Samoli. For the second straight game, Brooklyn fans have something to cheer about. The World Series moves to Yankee Stadium for the third game. Walter O'Malley, president of the Brooklyn Club, his wife and son are enjoying the situation immensely. Another happy group includes President Warren Giles of the National League and two members of his staff, Fred Flagg and Dave Grody. Brooklyn's two coaches, Billy Herman and Jake Pitler, who were so busy waving runners around the bases at Ebbets Field, hope the activity continues. Starting pitchers for the third game are Whitey Ford and Roger Craig. After a scoreless first inning, Robinson walks to open the Brooklyn second. Hodges smashes the ball to deep short, and both runners are safe when Robinson slides into second ahead of McDougal's throw. Guerrillo flies to Bauer, and Robinson takes third. Campanella follows with a long drive to right field. Bauer slips as he starts for the ball, but recovers and makes a sparkling catch in front of the Yankee bullpen. And Robinson trots home to give the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. With one out in the Yankee half of the second, Martin drives the ball into the left field seats, and the game is tied at 1-1. There is no further scoring threat until Reese triples to right center with one out in the Brooklyn sixth. Snyder then sends Mantle deep for his 400-foot drive to center field. Reese has plenty of time to score and put Brooklyn back in the lead, 2-1. With one out and Bauer on first following a single, Berra keeps the rally rolling with a single to right center, and Bauer dashes to third. Slaughter is the next batter and works the cautious Craig to a 3-1 count. Craig then makes one too good for Slaughter, and he propels the ball into the right field stands, scoring Bauer and Berra ahead of him and sending the Yankees out in front 4-2. Slaughter is given a hero's welcome by the Yankee bench. And when he goes to the outfield, the fans in his sector give him another special ovation. Guerrillo opens the ninth with a 400-foot smash to right center. He races past second base and is out at third when Martin throws a strike on a relay from Bauer. Carey tosses out Charlie Neal for the last out, and the Yankees win 5-3. The fans depart talking about the ageless Slaughter and the excellent pitching of Whitey Ford, who scattered 8 hits for his 4th World Series victory. Tom Sturdivant, 26-year-old right-hander who helped the Yankees win the flag with a 16-8 record, will face the National League champion. Tom draws an experienced World Series competitor, 29-year-old Carl Erskine, who will be making his 10th appearance and 7th start. Officials of the New York Giants headed by President Horace Stoneham, are here to watch the excitement. Also among today's crowd are Frank Lane, St. Louis Cardinals general manager, and the club's field skipper, Fred Hutchinson. Another who will be pulling for the Dodgers is Bob Carpenter, president of the Philadelphia Phil. Sturdivant holds the Dodgers safe in their first, and now Hank Bauer faces Erskine in the Yankee half. Back goes Snyder for the drive 400 feet away, holding the ball as he sprawls. The Yanks have their first base runner when Collins doubles to the right field corner. Hodges takes Mantle's grounder and Erskine covers for the out. Collins moving over to third. There are 2 strikes on Berra when he slashes a single into the outfield after Reese makes a desperate dive for the ball. Collins comes in to give the Yankees a 1-0 lead. That's still the score when Snyder doubles off the right field wall at the start of the 4th. The first hit off Sturdivant. After Robinson fouls out, Hodges drops a soft single to center, scoring Snyder with a tying run. This makes it 8 runs batted in for Gill, only 1 short of the World Series record. Mantle works Erskine for a pass at the start of the Yankee 4th. As Berra strikes out, Mickey steals second. With first base open, Erskine gives Slaughter an intentional pass, bringing boos from the Yankee fans. Strategy goes astray when Martin singles to left center, scoring Mantle and putting Slaughter on third. A sacrifice fly by Gil McDougall to Snyder brings in Slaughter for a 3-1 Yankee edge. It's still Yankees 3, Dodgers 1, when McDougall moves to his left and whips out Hodges. Ed Roebuck faces Mantle at the start of the Yankee 6th. After looking at 1 pitch, the slugger pounds the next one into the center field bleachers. His 2nd homer of the series and 7th in postseason play. With Andy Carey on first after hitting a single off Don Drysdale in the New York 7th, Bauer wallops his first World Series homer, a shot into the lower left field seats. The Yankees lead 6-1. It's the 9th inning. Robinson leads off with a double to deep left center. Following a strikeout by Hodges, Amorous walks. Sturdivant's in trouble after walking Furillo to load the bases with only 1 away. Campanella drops a single into left field. And Robinson comes across the plate. Stengel talks to Sturdivant and gives him a pat and a vote of confidence. Randy Jackson bats for Drysdale and takes a 3rd strike. The Dodgers' last hope is Gilliam. But he lifts a fly to Mantle for the final out of the ball game. The 69,705 fans have seen the Yankees fight back to square the series in this 4th match. It's a big moment for Tom Sturdivant, who started his career as an infielder. Manager Bertie Tebbetts and General Manager Gabe Paul of Cincinnati are among the spectators at the 5th game, but they didn't miss by much, having active roles themselves in the 1956 World Series. Phil Rizzuto, former Yankee shortstop, is engrossed in pregame chatter with General Manager Hank Greenberg of Cleveland. Before the game, Casey Stengel of the Yankees has an informal council of war with his fine staff of coaches. Bill Dickey, Frank Crosetti, and Jim Turner. The fifth game, obviously, is a big one, with the series tied at 2-all, and Stengel would like to get the edge before the action returns to Brooklyn. He had success bringing back Ford for a second start, following an early round knockout in Brooklyn, and he tries it again with Don Larson. For the Dodgers, it's once more the fabulous Sal Magley, winner of the opening game, as Alston tries to regain the advantage lost the past 2 days. Robinson leads off the Brooklyn second by whistling a terrific liner at Andy Carey. The ball caroms off his glove to McDougal, who scoops it up and throws Robbie out. Magley is even rougher than he was in the first game. He retires the first 11 men to face him. Next to challenge him is Mantle with 2 out in the 4th inning. Magley works carefully. The count reaches 2-2, and then Mantle hammers the ball down the right field line and into the stands, only a few feet fair. The Yankees lead 1-0. Berra wraps a sizzling liner to center, and Duke Snyder races over and makes a sensational backhanded somersault catch, spearing the ball above the grass tops. With 1 out in the Brooklyn 5th, Hodges rockets one of Larson's pitches to left center, and the drive looks good for extra bases. However, it's Mantle's turn for fielding brilliance as he overhauls the ball and makes a tremendous one-handed catch. Magley's first pitch is slapped into center field for a single by Carey in the 6th inning. Larson steps into the box and looks for a signal from third base coach Frank Crosetti. Larson lays down a sacrifice, and Carey moves to second base. On Magley's second pitch, Bauer singles to left, and Carey scores to make it 2-0 for the Yankees. All attention by this time is being focused on Larson, and it isn't because of the strange sight he presents of pitching without a windup. Don hasn't permitted a hit, and no Dodger has reached first base. He continues his pitching charm through the 7th, and now it's the 8th inning. Jackie Robinson is the first batter. With 2 strikes on him, Jackie bounces the ball to the box, and Larson tosses him out. Hodges is next. Larson begins with a called strike. And with a count 1-2, Hodges lines to Carey. Then comes Amorous. For the 3rd straight time, Larson starts with a called strike. On the second pitch, Amorous flies to Mantle. There is no secret about Larson's no-hit bid. He receives a deafening standing ovation from the crowd when he steps to the plate as the first Yankee batter in the 8th. But Magley still is conceding nothing. Larson strikes out. Bauer also goes down swinging on a back-breaking curve. Collins then takes his turn, and Magley also whiffs him to strike out the side. Now the stage is all Larson's, and a strange hush falls over the crowd as it realizes the overpowering drama of the situation. Never before has a pitcher hurled a no-hitter in a World Series, much less a perfect game. Larson is only 3 outs away. First man to face Larson in the 9th is Carl Furillo. The first pitch is a called strike. Furillo fouls the next one back into the screen. Ball 1 high. Another foul into the stand. Then still another. Furillo flies to Bauer. The second batter is Roy Campanella, another dangerous hitter. Crouching behind Yogi Berra at the plate is the most important man in the ballpark to Larson. That's the plate umpire, Babe Pinelli. Every pitch is important now. Campanella fouls the first pitch down the left field line. Then Campy bounces the ball to Martin and is thrown out. Only one man now blocks Larson from the greatest pitching achievement of all time, and that man is Dale Mitchell, who comes to the plate to pinch hit for Magley. The first pitch is a ball high. Then a curve for a called strike. A swinging strike, and the count is 1-2. Larson touches the rosin bag. Takes his time, removes his cap. Another pitch is fouled off. Larson goes through the same cap-tugging and dirt-pouring maneuvers. He faces the batter again, and from behind the plate, umpire Pinelli awaits the pitch with intense concentration. Here it comes. Mitchell starts to move the bat, checks his swing, and Pinelli's arm goes up. Strike 3. And with that fateful move, Pinelli opens the door to the Hall of Fame for Larson. It also touches off one of the wildest player demonstrations the Yankees ever have staged. As the Yankees win 2-0, and within a fraction of a second, Larson is surrounded by a seething mass of Yankees that gradually sweep him toward the clubhouse where bedlam breaks loose. Larson's fantastic performance of retiring 27 men in succession hasn't been accomplished in the major leagues since 1922. For Pinelli, the game was a wonderful climax to an amazing 22-year career as a National League umpire in which he never missed an assignment in more than 3,400 games. Larson was lavish in his praise of his battery mate, Yogi Berra. Don pitched the perfect game, but Yogi also caught a perfect one. He turned in a brilliant job behind the plate. This World Series will be decided in Ebbets Field. Down 3-2, the Dodgers will battle to throw it into another deadlock. Brooklyn has beaten the Yankees 5 straight on this field, including 3 last year. The burden today is on Bob Turley, the fireballing right-hander. He meets a tough opponent in Clem Labine, who comes out of the bullpen for the Dodgers' last-ditch stand. The American League office force from Chicago, headed by President Will Harridge, with Earl Hilligan, Service Bureau Director, is prepared to cheer another triumph by the Yankees. After Bauer opens with a single to center, Collins raps to Gilliam, who starts a double play. Berra greets Labine with a single off the right field screen at the start of the Yankee second. Gilliam comes in fast for Slaughter's roller and gets Berra at second with a backhand flip to Reese. It's still a scoreless battle as the Dodgers come up in the 5th. Burillo strikes out. Curley's pitching without a windup. The Yankee hurler makes Campanella a strikeout victim too. And then he whiffs Labine on 3 pitches. The 8th strikeout for Bob. The 7th inning is over, and the battle is still scoreless when Campanella fans for the 3rd time. It's the 10th strikeout for Turley. One is out in the New York 8th when Collins smashes a double off the scoreboard. Alston comes to the mound. Will Labine pitch to Mantle? No, he's giving Mickey an intentional pass. Berra sends a short fly to Snyder, and the Dodgers breathe easier. Slaughter's roller is taken by Gilliam, and the threat is over. It's great clutch pitching by the 30-year-old Labine. In the Brooklyn 8th, Turley has 2 strikes on Labine when the pitcher doubles into the left field corner, and it's only the 3rd Dodger hit. Gilliam twice bunts foul. Then fans. Turley's 11 strikeouts are high for Yankee pitchers in World Series play. Mantle scoots over for Reese's fly. Then Stengel calls a strategy meeting with the dangerous Snyder at the plate. Brooklyn fans boo when the Duke is purposely passed. The Yankee crisis is over when Robinson pops to Carey. The Yankees come to bat in the 10th. Only once before in series history have two teams gone into extra innings with neither having scored. Devine makes Turley a victim on strikes. Bauer sends a grounder to Reese for an easy out. Devine continues his mastery as Gilliam tosses out Collins to retire the Yankees. With one out in Brooklyn's 10th, Gilliam walks. Reese sacrifices, and now Gilliam is in scoring position. With first base open, the Yankees take no chances and pass Snyder. Robinson, after a foul and a ball, flashes a drive to left. The leap by Slaughter is in vain. Gilliam comes home in the single with a run, which wins for the Dodgers 1-0. Let's have another look at that play. It's a tough one for Turley to lose and a grand one for Levine to win. The crowd saw two great pitchers today and baseball drama at its best. Every game has its heroes. One of them certainly was Robinson, who delivered the big hit, and the other was Clem Levine with his great pitching skill. So tomorrow we'll tell the story. This is the day, a chilly one, October 10, when the 1956 World Series champion will be crowned. Hundreds of reporters, photographers, and movie cameramen are in Ebbets Field for this seventh and deciding game between the Dodgers and the Yankees. A spectator for the entire series is Joe Cronin, general manager of the Boston Red Sox. 23-year-old Johnny Cooks, making his first series start, is the hope of the Yankees. For the Dodgers, it will be big Don Newcomb. And here are the men who have maintained the Yankee dynasty. Del Webb, George Weiss, Dan Topping, and Casey Stengel. 7 pennants in 8 seasons for Casey and 5 World Series triumphs. There's the huddle at home plate, and the Dodgers take the field for their rendezvous with destiny. Hank Bauer shoves off for the Yankees with a leadoff single in the first inning. With Martin batting, Bauer steals second. Then Martin strikes out. Newcomb fans Mickey Mantle on a 3-2 pitch. The count is 2 strikes when Yogi Berra slams one down the right field line. His second homer of the series sends the Yankees out in front 2-0. With one away in the Yankee third, Martin singles past Reese. Again, Mantle goes down swinging at Newcomb's blazing fastball. The Brooklyn pitcher gets 2 strikes on Berra. But Yogi connects, and it's another homer over the right center wall. It's 10 runs batted in for Yogi, an all-time World Series record. The Yankees go ahead 4-0. It's the start of the 4th inning. And Elston Howard blasts a home run. Manager Alston calls for Don Besson to stop the Yankee sluggers. That's all for Newcomb. In the 7th, the Yanks still lead 5-0. Roger Craig is the Brooklyn pitcher, and Martin singles to left center. Mantle draws a walk, and this brings up Berra. While Yogi is at bat, both runners advance on a wild pitch. The bases are filled when Berra has walked intentionally. No one out, and Bill's scouring up. There goes the first pitch. A homer into the left field seats. That makes it 9-0. 2 records tumble. It's the 12th homer of the series for the Yankees, and it's the first time the same team has hit 2 grand slammers in the same series. Cooks goes into the 9th with a 2-hitter and a 9-0 lead. Gilliam goes out on a grounder to Skowron. Reese tries a surprise maneuver, but Berra grabs his bunt in foul territory. Snyder drives a single to center. Robinson misses the 3rd strike. The ball bounces away, but Berra throws him out at first. The Yankees, with this 9-0 crusher, have won their 17th World Series. The long struggle is over, and it's a time of victorious madness for the Yankees, who came back after losing the first 2 games. It was a great series, a series of surprises, a series of record-breaking slugging, of superlative pitching, topped by Don Larson's perfect game. For the 2nd straight year, a 7th game was necessary to decide the champion in this 53rd World Series. A salute to the world champion Yankees, and to the Dodgers, always a worthy opponent. A grand game again has reached its yearly climax, bringing thrills and enjoyment to millions at home and abroad, just as it will continue to do year after year.